Hello gorgeous people, hello friends. Welcome back to another video with me. Today I'd like to discuss a very important topic, and it is about free movement. I really invite you to stay throughout this video because it seems like it's a very simple topic. We kind of all know we need to move, we know it's healthy, etc. But I want to cover the topics that are a little bit more underneath the surface that we maybe don't always understand, and for that reason I feel that it's really important to bring up the topic of free movement, not just movement but the free movement. Okay, so what do I mean by this? Let's start from the statement that I think very few people will disagree with me about, and that is that the world is very much out of balance. The world right now, and all of the suffering that we see and we experience ourselves, and all of the pain that the earth itself experiences, and animal kingdom, plant kingdom, etc., is because we're out of balance. We are very much in our heads, and we're disconnected from our bodies. We're disconnected from our senses, from our emotions, from our feelings, and we're very much mental. When we talk about other people and what they do, the judgments of, say, when there is a great waste that some companies create, the only reason why one would be capable of doing something harmful like this without really, getting hurt about it and feeling it is because they are disconnected from their body. And with that, as you're disconnected from your body, you are disconnected from the planet and from everybody else. So in order for us to even approach planetary healing, even the topics that we think we can just fix by creating some regulations, we're not fully coming into healing until we are actually choosing to connect with our own body. Because this is a microcosm, and what's outside is a macrocosm. So us disconnecting from our body, and our body is an extension of Earth, we're literally disconnecting from Earth. So we can't connect with Earth and still remain here, separate from our body. And so a lot of all of this, decision making that happens just based on our logical reasoning conclusion, based on what happened in the past, we're not fully comprehending the situation. We don't fully understand the globality of, the totality of the whole spectrum of things, because we only approach it from a mental state. And I'll talk more about it so that it kind of makes more sense. So we use our, this top-down approach for everything, even healing. So for example, our body is in pain, and then we go to the doctor, and the doctor, from a very mental level, right, knowledge-based level, prescribes us medicine. And then we take medicine to kind of push out the pain. But literally, we are not healing. We are just suppressing the original wound that is so much in pain, that is already creating and manifesting the illness in the body. So I, in this video, don't talk about, just completely taking out the mental approach. What I mean is that we need to bring the bottom up approach too, from the body into the mind. And that's where free movement and body comes in. And I feel like those are the first steps that we all can take, and there's no regulations to that. We all have the freedom to do that. So, moving our body in space in very different shapes and forms, that is not just directed from by the teacher, say even like a yoga class, right, where we are being led by teachers, is a very different approach. And the reason I say this is because we are led by everybody externally, all from the moment we're born. when we're in school, we're told what to do, we're told, how to write, where to go, where to sit, etc. We're just told everything. And by the time we're adults, we rarely make decisions on our own. We think we do, but we pretty much follow the paths that have already been created before us. Who do you want to be when you grow up? Like the most stupidest question that it could be. Because we only search through the possibilities that we know and that were presented to us versus the potential that is available in this great unconscious, which is the body. So when we open to the free movement, when we add free movement, in addition to other practices that we do, say you do yoga, yes, that's great, continue doing it, and add some free movement, which may incorporate yoga postures that you love and enjoy, but it's not going to be externally led by the teacher. It's going to be led from your body, through your body, telling you what it wants to do in this given moment. You are creating the internal guidance system. You are finally connecting to this source of wisdom and knowledge that we disregard. Because when we go to the doctor, because the doctor has the knowledge and the training, and not to say no, we absolutely need them, but if we completely take off responsibility from ourselves and because we're so disconnected from our body that we look for guidance from externally, then we will never fully approach the whatever the misalignments are in this specific body, because we are just kind of applying general statements to it, general kind of advice. So by going deeper into the practice of free movement, where we finally learn to move from our own kind of intuitive sense, which at the beginning is very uncomfortable and you feel like, oh, what do I do? It's like, okay, that's great. We need to go through that discomfort because we finally learn how to be free, how to be sovereign, which is such an important component to all of our lives in this given time. So we discover that freedom and sovereignty through free movement. And like I said, you don't really need anything but just your body. And you can't put music on, you don't have to have music on, and you can just start moving in different ways that your body is wanting. And you can absolutely begin by doing something that's familiar to you, like a posture, yoga posture, or a run or walk, but then bring more, like whatever your body feels like it needs in this given moment. So for this, I highly recommend also including shaking, stomping your feet, because as you do that, you kind of like, you connect to the core of your being, you ground yourself. Shaking and stomping really grounds ourselves versus us being so much in our head. We really need to like work hard to bring our awareness into the body. And it's a slower process than a quick fix with a tablet, but it is a much more effective process. And it's the only, I feel, way, if we don't incorporate the body, we will never fully, kind of come into this healing state. So stomping, shaking, any kind of chaotic movement, any kind of vocal expression, and it doesn't have to be pretty. In fact, it shouldn't be pretty. Most of the time, whatever wants to come out, because our throats are all closed off, and that's kind of like a, our whole body just shows how we're closed. So breathing, loud breathing, making sure that you could hear yourself, and then start making noises. All of that is free movement, because movement doesn't stop with just moving your body. It's also moving your voice, right? Which is really important. And then we start learning and we start grounding ourselves in this very interesting place where we become more intuitive about our decision, where we know and we feel what we need to do. especially for women, free movement and movement in general is so important. And I'm talking not just about going to the gym or, being guided by the teacher, but more of that feminine flow, inviting the feminine flow. I can't explain, but this is just something that we're so disconnected, and it is our essence. Women's essence is sensuality, it's senses. Women's are very much connected to the earth, and earth is what, all of our senses. And so we are so much in our head because we have, gained the freedom to do things that we were previously denied of. But now we kind of went into the other polarity where we're doing the things in the way that works for men but doesn't work for women. And so what do we see as a result of this? We see a lot of reproductive organ issues, right? We have problems with pregnancy, with problems with childbirth. We see a lot of pain, menstrual cramps, other illnesses, very much just, showing how we have been disconnected from our feminine essence. Free movement, connection to the body, connection to our breath, connection to our voice starts building that bridge again. Our body is the bridge to this mystery, to the wisdom that women carry. And especially when it, letting your body to move in ways and making it like a soft, gentle moves. After you do all of that kind of like shaking off, you will feel a very subtle kind of vibration in your body and energy flowing through your body. And with all of this movement, especially when you invite shaking and stamping, a lot of build-up emotion will start rising to the surface. Emotion is another component that is a very feminine, right? Because it's a flowing. So that build-up emotion is so important for us to allow to live through our body, because it's another way that we, when we don't connect with it, we suppress a lot of things, a lot of desires, a lot of wants. We suppress our true self-expression, we suppress our essence. So when we connect to it, and then maybe we, decide to journal, or it will be done in combination with therapy or coaching or other kind of healing modalities, if you just bring the free movement to the picture, you will finally start approaching and integrating the healing from deep in your body. Because our trauma, our ancestral wounds, our emotions, they all live in the body. And if we only use a top-bottom approach, where we use our mind to dissect and analyze all of the patterns of behavior and our past, etc., but we don't live it through our body, we are getting stuck in our past. We are not fully integrating the healing that's available to us. So that's why it's just so important to bring that into the picture. Bring your body and bring the free movement. So and for women it's even more important, and this is so natural to us, and it's amazing how we forgot how to move, we forgot how to dance. And I'm not talking about a specific dance that you kind of like again learn in a dance class. I'm talking about just naturally letting your body express in whatever soft movements it wants to. So I think it's really important, and I lead the class and I see the healing possibilities of it. I see it for myself as somebody who have gone through a lot of trauma, and really, with bringing my body into the picture and movement, I finally am starting to experience very deep levels of healing, and I see it for other people. So I want to invite you to do that free movement for yourself. If you want to join in a group, I offer weekly movement classes. They are online, and it's every Sunday at 5:30 p.m. Eastern Time. And that class is open by donation, and it's open for all women. And I strongly encourage you to consider joining at least once, because there you will see I will not be leading so much. I will be giving you specific themes of what are we energetically kind of living through, what sort of healing is accessible to us in this given week. I will put a beautiful playlist of music, and then I will guide you very gently, but a lot of it will be for you to experience the wisdom and the guidance of your own body through the movement, and then release any of the emotions that have been stuck, any stress that we are cured through life, through this last week or whatever it will be for you. So do this with me, do this with other women. When we gather together in a group with women, our power gets multiplied exponentially, and it is a very important part for healing the planet is to come together. We are already starting to heal individually, but to come together in healing in communion is a new level of coming into union, because a lot of disharmony, a lot of pain and suffering that we're experiencing right now is due to disunion. So us coming together as women, as holders of that wisdom, of the planetary wisdom, of the body wisdom, of that untapped potential, we're healing not only ourselves, not only our sisters, but even our relatives, our environments, our communities, and it just extends further. So I invite you to do this movement with me or by yourself. My class is by donation at the moment, so it's available to all, because I just see how important it is. And if you have any questions about this, definitely let me know. If you want to share your personal experience with healing through movement, please share that with us in the comments, because it's just such an important topic that I don't think a lot of us are talking about, and I think we should just really give it to the masses, because we have our body. We don't, it's accessible to us right here, right, any given moment, and we don't have to have anything else but our body. So with that, I'm going to say goodbye for now. Thanks for tuning in, and I'll see you next week.